Good day, friends. Good day, humans. I hope this beautiful day finds you happy, not addicted, peaceful, tranquil, smiley for no reason, not so greedy. Did you ever had experience with an addict, a person who's under influence of certain chemicals, certain behavior, certain attitude, or he's just, let's say, obsessed or taken by some unknown entity to you that you cannot understand or comprehend their behavior, their reactions, their words towards you, towards others? Do you have anybody in your environment who's an addict? Can you recognize in you that you're addicted to some kind of substance? What kind of substance I'm talking here? Is it only heroin, an addiction? Is it only medical, let's say, pharmaceutical painkillers, an addiction? Or maybe just an alcohol you're finding, but it's borderline. Maybe they are addicted people, maybe they're not. On Sundays they're not, on Monday through Friday they're very, very nasty addicts. So are you jealous? Do you gossip? If answer is yes, you're an addict. You're addicted to putting blames on others and putting yourself over on top of the others. Are you addicted to cigarettes, nicotine? Are you addicted to adrenaline when you gamble? When you go in casinos or blackjack or whatever kind of, crappy technology that was put in your face, and you don't want to recognize your illness. You don't want to recognize your addiction. Are you greedy for power? Are you afraid of absolutely anything that you can mention? If you're afraid, you are an addict. You're an addict of your internal invisible chemistry that's producing such a fumes inside of you that you cannot live without this. Or at least this is what an addict thinks. Are you addicted on being loved by everybody around? About opinions of others? Are you addicted to judgments of yours towards anything and everything around you? That you cannot be quiet or just shut up for a second and not say a word if you see some weird hairdo on somebody. Title for today goes like this: Addictions from immediate highs to eternal lows. Let's have a small example. Why people buy a car. Why they want a specific color, a metallic rims, high power machine, leather interiors, CD player. What are these little triplets of sales pitch when you're going to buy a car? Do you need a car to be reliable and brings you from wherever you go to wherever you want to go? Or this is just a status? Or this is just a temporary high that you become more powerful than the ones who are having a less powerful cars, or older cars, or whatever reason or excuses you are giving to yourself? Do you find this as an addiction process? You will not think about long-term consequences, that you have to pay the lease or a loan for another 5-10 years, and the car will deteriorate. The car will lose its value, and you have to still pay a full interest on the value on the day that you bought it. Yet your feeling of power will diminish in a matter of hours when you take it out of the lot of the dealership. So we have to be very, very diligent how we live our life. What our actions producing within ourselves. Do they produce a peaceful reaction, or they just there to entice us into adrenaline rush, or judgmental rush, or nicotine rush, or heroin rush, or fear rush? I mean, watching the movie industry last 10 years, 15 years, the most profitable movies were horror movies. They were made with a minor investments, yet they make such a profit. Not that they are widely watched, but many people who go and see these movies are just addicts. They are addicts of being scared. So they think if after 2 hours being scared, if they go home, they don't want to look their life, or they will look at it as, oh, I don't have to change anything. I look much better than the character in the horror movie. Think and observe what your actions are producing within you, or your non-actions, which is mostly the case. When you're watching the news, what they're trying to bring or entice inside of you. When you're watching CNN, the Third World War is coming. Korea shot the missile of Ducky Duck. You know, the head of the missile was colored in orange, so it has to carry a nuclear weapon. What are they doing within your energy field? They're producing fearful thoughts. These fearful thoughts producing temporary highs inside of you. That's why many people are so basically stuck on CNN, because they don't want to go off the addiction. So I think I mentioned everything. What are the addictions known? They are known to you. Besides heroin, besides nicotine, besides alcohol, besides doesn't matter, pharmaceutical drugs. Why depression pills are so addictive? After 2 months of using it, you cannot go off without consequences. And consequences goes from any kind of withdrawals, you know, slight depressions to the death. These are the consequences, or withdrawals from pharmaceutical drugs. Some are so nasty that you cannot even believe the point of no return, whoever goes into this direction. Chemotherapy. People are addicted to going into a doctor's office to be pitied. So many, and I met many, thousands of people who don't understand they're actually not ill from a cancer, they're ill from addiction, of being a victim. So when this gets cleared, people get cleared of the cancers, high blood pressures, diabetes, and any kind of, let's say, these invented illnesses that they really so close with your energetics. When you become peaceful within, your body starts resonates on a much higher level, where it can deal with any kind of influences around without any stress, without any concern. It will know that there will not be withdrawal. Why it's so hard, let's say, to withdraw from heroin? Why it's so desperately, needed for many of the smokers to say, okay, I had enough. Oh, I stopped smoking, but only for 2 years, yet I just had a trauma and then I have to go back. Who cares do you have a trauma? What if it's not a trauma, if it's just like a drama of somebody else and you just don't take it too seriously? I mean, what these addicts gives then excuses to others who are actually attempting to help them. Just pointing that these addictions has to be recognized. And only then you can get rid of them. Not me, not any other healer who's trying to sell you anything. You will get rid of your addictions towards drugs, towards alcohol, towards anything. Heroin, medical pills, your judgmental nature, let's call it that, you cannot change it, so-called. Absolutely everything is changeable. Your needs for adrenaline rush is manifested in many other ways, in many, many different ways. Some are abusing their family. Some are abusing themselves. Some playing a victim. Some are the victimizers. I mean, we can talk about this in every aspect of your life. Some go into the church and give all the wrongdoings to these priests who's going to ask forgiveness on your behalf to some unknown entity that sits on the black stone in Mecca or in Vatican. Why you don't ask directly to Prime Creator to be forgiven? You know what he's going to tell you? F off. Do it yourself. Forgive yourself as soon as you recognize what you've done wrong. And this is where the churches are capitalizing on constant addiction of your daily behavior. So why we have withdraw in any kind of case of I want to get rid of heroin addiction, or I want to have I don't want to smoke anymore, but I'm afraid it will hurt me, like my feelings will be I'll be very stressed out because I need my fix, hourly fix, daily fix, whatever. Who says so? What if I tell you that if you turn this around, that this, so I call it fix, it's very short in time, goes to from a couple of hours to maybe 2-3 weeks. Let's say you are a vivid shopper, or you have to be famous by your extravagant life, so you buying the best possible cars. And only until the first payment that you have to pay this car, and suddenly something happened on your work or with your inheritance and you don't have it anymore. So what you do? What you do? You recognize that you're an addict. Addict to power, addict to gossip, addict to being better than others, addict to heroin, addict to alcohol, addict to nicotine. So when you're watching around you, how do you recognize your addictions? When you stop doing certain things and there's no withdrawal, meaning that you remain peaceful. You're not stressful. You're not living in anxiety because you cannot have your daily fix. Who cares? By recognizing it, you will be able to get rid of it. Only by recognizing it. So all this talk brings us where? Where do we go if we continue being addicts? Yes, we have a daily highs or short bursts of high, hormones, energetic hits, alien entities comes into us in the places like bars or drug alleys or any kind of approach. Or you go to the movie theater and you're watching a horror movie. The entities doesn't come from the screen. Entities comes from the next one who sits next to you, or the ones who sits next to you. And these entities want to feed more on a fear, so they can bring another addiction within you. Not only a fear addiction, they can bring, suddenly you need to start smoking. You need to start abusing somebody to feel powerful, or more powerful than you've been before, so-called more powerful. So where is the end? The end of this kind of behavior, if they don't stop, or if they go without the end, continues. It's not only your death or your tremendous sufferings through, doesn't matter, stealing, ending in the jail, selling yourself for the piece of drug or like a daily high. What's happened when you cannot sell anything anymore? When you're completely decapitated, when you're disabled to do any kind of sane decisions. Even worse, you've been put in the mental institutions because you're a danger for everybody around you. Because you steal, you kill, you abuse, you victimize everybody around because you want to have your daily fix. So, what is opposite from immediate highs or short-term highs? It's eternal low. You would be actually never able to go out of this if you don't make a choice that you are an addict and that you're really deciding to stop. So, my suggestion, recognize your addictions and get rid of them.